Good day, FAnews readers. Today, I'm speaking to Poobalan Govender from Momentum Corporate. Poobalan is the Income Solutions Manager. COVID and lockdown has brought chaos in our worlds and in our clients' worlds. And the clients we are particularly concerned about is those clients who are either in retirement or who are heading for retirement soon. The state looks pretty depressing, but it seems like there is a little bit of a silver lining when we speak about retirement. And that is the with-profit annuity space. Talk to us about that.
Yes, thanks, Rianette. Yes, there's probably lots of bad news, in particular with investment markets, where you see lots of negative returns. But there's some good news over this period. While we've seen these periods of bad or negative investment returns, there are some annuity options that have become cheaper. In particular, the dynamically priced with-profit annuities have become cheaper. So even though a retiree could have seen that the investment value has reduced, the amount of pension that they could have purchased is actually very similar to before the negative returns.
Okay, that is positive. How much worse, let's compare last year compared to this year. How much worse off, if at all, is a retiree with profit annuity retiree now compared to 1 year ago?
Yes, so actually, from the perspective that a with-profit annuity provides a guaranteed minimum pension increase for as long as someone lives, they're not worse off, because the guaranteed minimum pension would not be impacted by negative investment returns or the promise that's been made that they'll get a guaranteed minimum pension for the rest of their life. However, because future pension increases are dependent on the investment markets, expected future increases are a bit lower now compared to last year, and probably will be for the short term.
Okay, but that will pick up
yes.
in the not too far distant future. While researching the topic with profit annuities, I read an article that was written probably 5 years ago, where with profit annuities was not necessarily the flavor of the month. What has changed, and particularly what has Momentum done to make it a bit of a more viable option?
Yes, that's a very good question, Rianette. So interestingly enough, with-profit annuities have actually been a very popular choice whenever a retirement fund or trustees of a retirement fund had to make a decision of an annuity product on behalf of members. So they've been actually quite popular for group or bulk pensioner outsourcers from defined benefit funds. In effect, a with-profit annuity operates in a very similar way to our defined benefit fund pension operates. So they've been quite popular, and actually most of the traditional insurers have well-developed sort of corporate or institutional with-profit annuity products. However, these products have not been widely available to retail advisors and retail customers. However, that's changed recently with the introduction of the default regulations. Again, they've been a popular choice for retirement fund trustees to be used as part of the fund's annuity strategy. So again, where a retirement fund trustee or a fund had to make a choice of annuity products, we see that with-profit annuities are still quite popular. However, the adoption by retail advisors and retail investors have still been poor. And I think that's probably due to the perception of these products as being very complex and not transparent, or that they have very high fees. So a couple of years, Momentum pioneered a different approach to with-profit annuities when we sort of introduced dynamic hedging in the management of our with-profit annuities. So dynamic hedging is a market-leading risk management technique. And in that way, we've been able to adopt a transparent bonus smoothing formula. So you can see how the increases are linked to the investment returns. And it also makes the product very capital efficient. So we've been able to reduce costs quite significantly.
Yeah, the article that I read was that it was fairly a black box approach. And one of the criticisms was that it wasn't very transparent. So I suppose transparency is critical.
Yes, definitely. And I think trying to assist members to understand the product, understand the different layers of fees, and in particular, I think how increases are determined has always been a sort of a black box. And I think trying to directly link it to investment returns have definitely sort of reduced that layer and made it more transparent.
Cool. So it can't be all good. What's some of the pitfalls around with profits annuities?
So yes, definitely. I mean, so like all life annuities, once somebody's purchased the product, they can't change their mind or they can't change their options, and you can't transfer out of the product. So it's, you make a decision product for the rest of your life. And then obviously, even though we've got more transparent bonus smoothing formulas and so on that can make you understand how the pension increases linked to investment returns, the target increases or the actual increases can be lower than the target increases in the future, depending on the experience of the product and investment markets.
I think you have touched on it, but just remind me, what are the factors that might influence your initial pension and your future increases?
Yes, again, interestingly, and probably one of the factors that's probably always misunderstood or found confusing with this product. So there's a term with most with-profit annuities called a post-retirement interest rate, or a PRI. And it's sort of the investment returns that's already been priced into the product. So it impacts your starting pension. So it creates this trade-off between getting a starting pension and future increases. So the higher the post-retirement interest rate, the lower your future increases, but you get a higher starting income and vice versa. There's also other factors or options that you can introduce in the product, like a spouse's pension or a guaranteed period, which is a minimum payment term, which can also impact your starting pension.
Okay. Longevity is a reality. We've seen that the stats are there. People are living longer. How does it impact this offering?
Yes, we have seen that globally over the last 100 years, people are living longer. The good news is that by purchasing a with-profit annuity, you sort of transfer that longevity risk to the product, because the product will pay a minimum pension increase for the rest of your life, and or minimum pension for the rest of your life, and pension increases once they're declared will be guaranteed for the rest of your life as well. However, from the perspective that if all of the pensioners in the with-profit annuity pool live longer than expected, this can have an impact in that your future increases could be diluted or could be lower due to that.
Okay, so if you've got a gene pool of people living really long, this might be a good option for you to go into. Cool.
Well, maybe aligned to that question, so it's maybe a good idea to ensure that you are invested in a well-diversified pool, so that you have the diversification benefit of there's all different pensioners and not exposed to just one set of pensioners who might live longer than expected.
Yes, very good advice. Your message to advisors: you need to talk to clients about the investment and retirement strategy now. I suppose the conversation around retirement is always relevant, but it's just more relevant when you approach the 60s. So advice to advisors talking to clients, specifically with profit annuities and the opportunities that lies there.
Yeah, so actually I think we're very fortunate in South Africa to have a well-developed annuity market, and pensioners actually having a number of different choices. And actually we have a very innovative annuity industry that's constantly looking at ways to provide sustainable income options to retirees. So I think the advisors, as part of their planning toolkit, have a number and a range of options available to assist customers and create customized solutions for each customer's need. And I think the with-profit annuity is just another tool or another solution that can be used as part of a planner's toolkit to create a customized strategy for a customer where it fits into their retirement strategy.
So your advice is your clients, the clients just need to understand the product. I think it's a lot of the times it's just about people do not understand the products that they buy into or have to buy into. So I think consumer education and making sure your client understand 100% what they are in for is absolutely critical, and that's the role of the advisor, which is good.
Yes, perfect.
Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I learned something. I know most of our advisors will be quite knowledgeable about the subject, but I think it was a good reminder. Have you seen any take up or more interest specifically in this product in this COVID-19 times?
Yes, so definitely, I think there's been increasing interest for life annuities in general. I think, as we mentioned, that they have become cheaper, and in particular with profit annuities, because they are part of a number of retirement funds annuity strategy. So we are seeing definitely increasing demand and take up of these products in the current environment.
That's good news. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it, and enjoy your day.
Perfect. Thank you, Rianette. Have a good day.